Good morning, you beautiful people. We are on vacation this week, and yesterday it rained, it poured, and it was like 67 degrees. And today, you can see, it's gorgeous. And we have an almost 2-year-old, and she's awesome. And we've had our first experience of like, what do we do on a rainy day at the beach with our toddler? The point of today's message: things work out best for those who make the best of the way things work out. That's a John Wooden quote. John Wooden was the winningest coach at UCLA, and did so in such a way that like all of his players loved him, and he never threw a chair. Things work out best for those who make the best of the way that things work out. A rainy day at the beach. What did we do? We hung out at home. We colored. We were present as a family. We went out to breakfast. My in-laws are in town, up from Florida, so we went out to breakfast with them. We went to the playground, and nobody else was there because it was a rainy day at the beach, and we just dressed appropriately. You have to have that attitude about stuff. Like, it's so easy to sit around and complain. You don't get any dopamine with that. What kind of way is that to live your life? Okay, so whatever challenges and struggles that you're going through, everybody has them. Make the best of them. Like, sometimes it's really hard. It takes a lot of practice. And you have to start at like the granular, I'm standing on a bunch of sand right now. You have to start at like a tiny grain of sand level. Of like, we want to go complain about the weather? Like, stop. The first step there is like, just stop complaining. And you will find that you start to do a better job at making the best of things. So things work out best for those who make the best of the way that things work out. In that same like arena, you have to choose your heart. It's all hard. I say this all the time. Like, being self-employed is hard. Working for someone else, also hard. You just have to choose your heart, right? Saving money, hard. Being in debt, also hard. Staying fit, hard. Being overweight and dealing with chronic diseases, also hard. Pick your heart. And then go make the best of how you're picking your heart. Like, it's a simple concept, and simple doesn't always mean easy. Simple means simple. You can try to make simple easy. And you can try to make, what's the opposite of simple? Difficult? You can try to make difficult easy. No, those are opposites. Sometimes the difficult thing is really easy. Right? Like the harder thing that's ultimately worse for you is easier. It's certainly more convenient. Past any store on the side of the highway. Right? It's a convenience store. You pay for it in 5-10 years when your blood sugar is out of control or your body fat percentage is high. Okay, so you have to choose your heart. And there's parts of your brain, this is fascinating. There's parts of your brain, there's like the logic thinker side, and then there's the non-logical doer side. I heard this in a book, the book Nudge, great book. Referred to as like the Dr. Spock, right? I was never a Star Trek fan. I don't really understand that character. But Dr. Spock, is my understanding, is like very logical. Like, certainly logical. Never laughs, never gets mad, right? Very, very logical. That's one side of our brain. And then you have the Homer Simpson side. And in the book, they give the example, there's an episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes in to buy a gun, to buy a firearm. And the retailer says, well, there's a 5-day waiting period. And he says, 5 days, but I'm mad now. Okay, like that's the irrational, illogical side of our brain. And we have these two, and they are usually in like constant battle with one another. Right? So like you have this planner, and there's another book called Switch, which refers to these as like the rider and the elephant. Right? The elephant is the Homer Simpson side, the side that does all the feeling and the doing. And then the rider is the riding the elephant. Right? It knows like what direction it should go, but it ultimately has very little control over what the heck the elephant does, because the elephant's going to take it no matter what. So, all of this goes back to, like, choose your hard. Okay, the logical side of your brain knows, like, okay, it's hard to save money and it's hard to be in debt, but I'd rather save the money. And now you have to come up with a plan to steer the elephant, the Homer Simpson, to rein that part in and follow it. Because, yeah, the logical side of you is wanting to save money or eat healthy or not scroll, right, hours into the night. But the elephant, the Homer Simpson side, is like, yeah, but this feels good now, we're going to do it. Okay? And it all goes back to making the best of it and choosing your hard. So the whole point of talking about this is, like, I'm in the process and I've started to write a book. And in the world of AI, if the purpose of the book was to get the book out and done, I could do it in a week. The purpose of the book is not to have the book. The purpose of the book is so that I become the type of person who has written a book. Because that's hard. I know one person, a girl I went to high school with, who wrote a book about her medical experience. One person out of all the people I know who have written a book. And a couple of my mentors have written books. So, like, it's going to be hard to do that. But I want, that's part of my identity that I want. And the book is going to focus on these concepts of the elephant and the rider and the logical side of your brain and the illogical side of your brain. And then your surroundings. And this is what's very important. Your surroundings will dictate what that elephant does. If the elephant doesn't have access to the ice cream at night, the elephant can't eat ice cream. If the elephant's money is in an account that you can't take money out of, the elephant's going to save the money. But if you rely on the elephant to make the good decisions, you're going to fail. Right? And it's okay to fail. It's totally okay to fail. You have to continue to try, and you have to learn from that failure, and you have to set up that environment to be different so that your circumstances are different. If you do the same thing over and over and you expect different results, that's crazy. So, to conclude, things work out best for those who make the best of the way that things work out. Choose your hard and understand that there are two sides of your brain, the logical side and the emotional side. The emotional side is what is ultimately going to get you to your destination, whether that was the destination that the logical side wanted you to get to or not. So understand those concepts, identify where you're struggling, change the environment so that it's easier to make a good decision, and continue to make the best of the way that things work out. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending your time, your energy, your attention, your effort with me today. Keep moving and keep getting better every day.